Hello Cuphead fans, Let's Night Funkin' here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new Cuphead video. Today, I wanted to do something a bit different, unlike just doing normal challenges. I had an idea I had in my head for a very long time. That is trying to beat every boss with every single weapon, except doing it in an episodic type series. Every episode, I will be fighting one boss with all 10 methods of combat, and we're going to see which weapon can kill the boss the fastest. So, about the same as a normal playthrough, but I thought it would be a bit different, maybe a bit entertaining for some people who just want to see how fast weapons can kill a boss in just one video for just one boss. But yeah, let me know if you actually like this idea, and maybe I'll make more in the future. We're starting off with our pea shooter, and the pea shooter is a very default weapon, so I don't expect it killing the boss that quickly, but it can get the work done. Goopy Le Grande is a very basic boss, so yeah, it should get the job done. It's this phase right here that makes it very difficult, because you actually have to jump up and aim all sorts to actually hit his face. But overall, he goes down very quickly. As we head into our results screen. Da, 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 da. And let's see our time. 1 minute and 1 second. 1 minute, 1 second. That's how much time it is. And we even got an A+. Goopy Le Grande is basically the tutorial boss one with the root peg, so I don't expect it if even that difficult. Spread shot is a weapon I do recommend fighting Goopy with. You have to stay very close to him, but once you get it, you have to stay very close within his range. And I'm having trouble just trying to explain this stupid shot. Stay very close with Goopy. If you know his patterns, it'll be very easy. That's what I'm trying to say. Now you may be wondering, why am I using EX shots instead of a super meter? Well, for this video, and this entire series, I decided not to equip? I'm terrible at this. Equip just nothing but the shot and then Miss Chalice. Because Miss Chalice is 4 HP, so it's a lot more than just damage tank my way through these bosses. Plus, she makes the game a lot easier. Goopy goes down very easily. You can use the EX shots in his face in this phase, and he'll go down much quicker. He does tons of damage. You can make all 8 of them hit, especially when he jumps into a little leap, just into each of shots in the previous 2 phases you saw there. Hopefully that makes sense to you. For 54 seconds, that ain't so bad. Huh? This is where the fight gets slower though. The chaser is only, you only use the chaser really to just home in on your opponent. Huh? It does very below average damage, very tiny damage, really. In fact, so much less damage that everyone uses it for a challenge run called low damage output or something like that? I don't exactly remember. This with Twin Hearts makes it so terrible to use. Yet somehow, with Goopy, it somehow gets the job done. Because the shots always follow him around, so there's no need to aim. All you need to do is just dodge his attacks, and that's very easy to do. All he does is just jump around and go from one end of the screen to the next, with the occasional fist of death. And of course, if you just face one, just a massive headbutt or something. Not much can really be said about the chaser, it just gets the job done. This phase, the chaser is really good because, again, just locks in on his phase. The only thing you need to do is just go from left to right yourself to avoid him. Jump occasionally, just use your EX shot to make sure everything hits. I don't necessarily like the chaser's EX shot. All it does is make a weird barrier thing around you. You can rather shoot it again, then all the things around you will just shoot out and hit the boss. Or you just run into the boss, and you'll hit all your shots that way. 1 minute and 11 seconds, our slowest time yet, besides the pea shooter. Like 10 seconds slower than the pea shooter. It's not the worst, but not that good either. Here's a shot that many consider to be the worst shot for Goopy Le Grande's fight. Goopy Le Grande, whatever you want to call him. I don't think there's any correct pronunciation. He's not even in the Cuphead show, I don't think, at least. Yeah, not much to say. He goes down to his second phase really quickly. The lobber does super massive damage. As you can see, I took a hit there, which made me lose one of my X shots. That actually is going to make the lobber lose some of its time there. But honestly, this is not that bad of a weapon. Especially for the first 2 phases, but hey, every weapon works for the first 2 phases. Look at that, he goes down very quickly once again. It's this phase that makes everyone believe that this is the worst shot possible. You have to jump everywhere and you have to try and hit him. I don't do this. Okay, I do this one. I miss an EX shot there, so that's also gonna make a lose of time. But he still gets killed in the end, anyways. Yeah, the lobber is a very difficult weapon to actually hit the boss in that phase, but 54 seconds still, with all that being said. And we're gonna get ourselves a good old A+. This is regular mode, not expert mode, so if this was expert, that would have been an S rank. I went ahead and did the boss again. I landed all my EX shots, and I kept up with the boss a lot better, used that little trick right there with the balls, and he goes down a lot faster. I only do a second run if I felt that the run I did, I had a lot of mistakes and I could have improved. That's exactly what I did with the lava shot. 50 seconds. All the AX shots hitting and all that made me save up 4 seconds. 4 whole seconds. My goodness. Here's a shot that everyone's gonna love. It's the charge shot. That's because it's simply just good. It does massive damage. You only fire one shot, you have to charge it up. But it also has very precise aiming. Not much can really be said, I guess, about this shot. I take a hit there because I didn't know what Goopy was gonna do when he was that close up to the wall. I try using these EX moves of the charge shot, not the chaser. I'm not a huge fan of the EX shot compared to stuff like Lobber, but it gets the job done. A little explosion effect. I think it actually does massive damage now that I think about it. I don't know how I took a hit there. I thought that his hitbox disappeared, but I guess it was still there in between the transition. Like that early on to the transition. Once again, not that hard of a phase. It goes down very easily. Charge shot. It's a very good weapon. Regardless of any boss, I believe. Anyway, our time is 53 seconds. So if I kept the Lobber's original time, it would have lost the charge shot. But yeah, the Lobbers are our fastest time weapon so far. But I still went ahead and did it again with the charge shot, feeling I could have improved. And we're just going to wait here. There we go. Now we're going to see what our time is. I believe it wasn't even that big of a time difference, now that I think about it. Let's see. Oh, 47 seconds. Never mind, a huge time difference. So much quicker than the Lobber shot. Saved up a whole, like, what? 7 seconds, I think? Just off the top of my head. Here's my favorite weapon, and a weapon that I also recommend using for Goopy, because apparently this thing just destroys this boss. The roundabout, it just covers the entire battlefield, and, well, Goopy goes around the entire battlefield. So of course this is going to drain his health like crazy. Just like that, he's already in his second phase. The Lobber Charge and Roundabout are like the most powerful weapons in Cuphead, I think. With the Chaser and the Crackshot being also recommended weapons, simply due to the fact they home in. I took a hit there because I thought he was going to jump, but he ended up dying. Into his third phase, the Roundabout becomes not as useful in this stage. This is where I normally would have probably switched over to like a spread shot, but hey, we still take him down very easily. And let's see what our time is. Head on over to the results screen. 50 seconds. 50 whole seconds. I believe that's the same time as the retry with the Lobber shot. Thinking that, I went ahead and did it again with the Roundabout, thinking maybe I could do a bit better. I think this was the attempt, or the weapon that I did a retry with, and I don't think I got that big of a time difference. But if it's in the video, so clearly it's somewhat of a time difference. Here we go, 49 seconds. I saved 1 whole second. For speedrunners, that will be priceless. There we go. We move on into our, what is it, the 7th weapon I think in the game? The good old Crackshot. I don't know how to really do runs with the Crackshot. It's homing, but some people say the homing shots do less damage, while the initial shot from the Crackshot actually does more damage. And then there's the EX move, which summons like a little Saturn planet. You can keep it around, and then you can have it act as a turret, but you can also parry it in order to like hit the boss. But as you can see there, it doesn't stay there for very long. Sometimes the boss will, like Goopy, you can just run into it. So I'm not really sure what's the best way to utilize the crack shot, so I didn't bother really doing a retry run with this. There's so much to take into account with the crack shot that I don't think it was really worth it. The same thing with the charge shot. You can do with the charge shot without actually charging any of its shots. But what's the point of that? We already know that's not the best way to use the crack shot. So I don't really know what's the best way of using the... I think I got crack shot and charge shot like confused when I was speaking there. I'm sorry if that confused anybody. Anyways, we're about almost done here. Goopy's third phase, not that big of a difference. I tried summoning a turret, but he just ran into it. Like an idiot. Goopy is not that difficult. I really should have just done this on expert mode. It would not add that much big of a difference. I made it in 8 seconds. It actually did like 3 seconds better than the pea shooter, I think. Moving on into another weapon I don't know really how to utilize that much, the Converger. Once again, didn't really do a retry run with this. I thought if I didn't aim, I could just have the, main 2 shots that you see there with the Converger just pierce through when he's jumping. I still believe that's the most optimal way to use the Converger during Goopy Le Grande. I do, when you lock on, I think it makes the Converger shots smaller, so you can hit enemies better. Its main function is just the pierce, and there's only a few bosses where that piercing really comes into play. As you see there, I locked on to make all 3 hits, actually hit the boss. When he's in, he's going in for a wind up. He jumps around. I don't know why I bothered I tried to lock on there. Never mind. I was trying to lock on, but also duck at the same time. You can't do that. That's what I was trying to say. I'm not the best with these types of videos, so I thought I'd try this out. But he goes down rather quickly. Not much aim is really needed with the Converger. It's a pretty good weapon. Once again, only a few bosses you'll really need that piercing. Only did 3 seconds better than crack shot, which I was honestly surprised to see. Well, we move on to our 9th weapon, and probably the worst weapon of the bunch, the Twist Up. Though to be honest, this is the only time where I think Twist Up is actually helpful. It's a weapon that shoots forward, then arcs upwards. And with Goopy and how the fact that he jumps all over the place, this is the only time really where it's that helpful. I think the only other time it's helpful is Captain Brinybeard I think is the only other time it was helpful? Maybe even more time to freeze. Its EX shot, the Tornado, however, is actually a really good EX move. Look at that damage. It's just a tornado that goes all over the place, and honestly with bosses like this, it makes it very easy. This is another reason why I think Twist Up is good. Not a lot of aiming really needed for stuff like this. You do need to be in very specific angles to hit him with all the Twist Up shots. But overall, not the worst weapon Goopy, but definitely not a lot of people's favorite for other bosses. Especially ones that are directly below you. Like remember Honey Bob's 3rd phase? Good luck with that one. Anyway, we end up with the Twist Up right there. And 57 seconds. It did very good. Which I am very surprised it did better than both Crack Shot and Converger. That's very surprising. But again, Twist Up not that normally good, but it can work in certain bosses, and Goopy was just one of those bosses. Now this is where I stand here and I decided that, you know what, there's a 5th weapon that can deal damage. That's the Wheatstone. So I decided that at the end of each of these, after the end of Twist Up, I try 1 attempt at beating the boss with a Wheatstone. Because I'm not spending here for hours just trying to beat a boss with Whetstone. Wheatstone, Whetstone, whatever you want to call it. Goopy is not that difficult with a Wheatstone, or Whetstone. I don't know how you pronounce it. But again, hitboxes in Cuphead are very awkward. I tried jumping off, I tried being Mario and jump off on him, and then just do a good old dash. Try and get out of there before he hits me with his jump. It's very slow. I do not really recommend fighting bosses with only a Whetstone, or a Wheatstone. Someone tell me and let me know how you actually pronounce that. There's a way to get 2 hits of a Goopy right there, just as you saw. As he winds up, you parry off of him to get behind him, and then before he makes his next bounce, you can go ahead and get an parry. Bounce, there you go, and on the 1. This phase is not that difficult. I do take another very stupid hit, and these stupid question marks got in the way of me doing extra damage. This phase is where I kind of lost all my runs, because holy moly is this one actually a lot harder. A lot more close calls. And just trying to guess where that hitbox is. And sometimes these hitboxes can be very finicky. My strategy was just trying to parry behind him. But sometimes he'll just turn around and give me the fist of death. I don't think I actually win this attempt, just a little spoiler there, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember most of these runs. Let's see, jumping over there, I get a parry. It's not that bad, duck under. This is actually going very well. I think this was like my best attempt, I think, at it. There we go, there's the death. I knew I wasn't lying. So with that being said, there's all the bosses done with each weapon. On screen you'll see each of the weapons and where they ranked based on the time, and which one did the fastest. Well, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.